So today we are going to talk about what recruits think about the Oklahoma spring game featuring 2020 cornerback Ryan Watts, who's going to attend the game, and all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time, and today we're going to talk with Ryan Watts about what he thinks about Lee Brice being the spring game act at Oklahoma and why some spring games are weighed differently than others. Pocket history of the OU spring game is going to have two. Last year it was Trace Atkins, for which most recruits were like, I don't really know who that is, or I kind of dig country, but I don't like that guy. But all to say, look, they kind of schedule around the spring game when they have these guys on unofficial and official visits. They don't actually bring them there to watch Trace Atkins, or in this case, Lee Brice perform. However, it is a factor. And I'm talking with Ryan Watts, who's going to get into this, and you're going to see what kind of an effect the spring game concerts can have. Now, can they be a net positive? Yes, but I also asked Ryan Watts whether or not you should have a spring game or not. Do recruits actually care? Now, I understand the take that the fan experience is what's most important here because fans are paying tickets for a glorified scrimmage. I don't like the spring game at all. I don't really think it should exist. If you're going to play football, but what am I really going to learn from a spring game? Spring practice is important. Spring game, not so much. But in regard to a recruiting atmosphere, I can see why Lincoln Riley needs it to be the biggest recruiting event of the year. You can guarantee getting all these kids on campus. You can get into their heads really early ahead of early signing day with not just 2020 but 2021 kids. And Ryan Watts is the kind of guy for which most people would think this has the most effect on because he's in the current recruiting cycle and he is a highly sought after cornerback. He's 6'3" and he wants to play corner. He does not want to play safety. He's also taking in all of his options. Notre Dame, Texas, Ohio State, Oklahoma. His recruiting's blowing up in a real way, and that's why I wanted to talk with him about what the spring game means and what kind of a player he thinks he's going into. This is a guy who's going to give you a stats here in a second because he went to the opening regional at Dallas at the Star in Frisco and showed out. Now, also, other guys I spoke to, Joseph Wete was like, look, okay, it's not really my thing, but it's really not a big deal. Other guys like DJ Graham was saying, hey, I'm into it. I think it's cool. And there were other guys like Tunmise Adeleye who were like, yo, I'm not really a Lee Brice fan. Go get me Luke Combs. Luke Combs? All right, cool. Whatever. So you're running the gamut of guys who care, guys who don't care, guys who are ambivalent about it. And if you are getting the net positive for fan experience, no harm, no foul. Except I'm still probably going to throw shade at this because, well, I want Tech 9 to perform, just like some of y'all want Juicy J to perform, just like some of y'all want Drake to perform, just like some of y'all want Ariana Grande to perform. Other folks like, I don't know, Joe, 47-year-old watching this video might not necessarily be into jambalaya, but Ryan Watts is going to tell you why you should be if you care about what recruits have to say about your event. Let's take a listen to that. So you at the Star in Frisco. It's down there for the opening final. I believe the opening final is going to be there again this year in July, and you got to punch a ticket. How'd you feel about the event? What was your overall takeaway from the feedback you got in your game and the guys that you went up against?
It was real fun. It was probably one of the better events that I went to, rather than the other ones I got actually organized. It was more competition there. They invited a little bit more people, and it was just real fun. We had combine testing, and I really thrived in that right there. I had to prove. Some people really thought I was unathletic because I was 6'3". So I just had to prove to them that I can actually run with some of these people. I got 116 on my Spark score for the opening, which is actually really high. I didn't even know that until after. So it was something real cool.
So, man, I'm gonna keep it real with you and tell you that a lot of people listening right now don't even know what the Sparks score is either. It's kind of esoteric because like Nike came up with that and everybody else is like, yeah, man, but what's your 40 time? so like. What were your measurables? Do you remember? Do you remember looking at that sheet?
Oh yeah, I think I got the sheet right here. I got I ran a 4.5 on my 40, a 4.59. My vert was 38. My 3-cone drill was a 4.2, and a power ball, which is you're on your knees and you throw a 6 foot pound ball. I mean a 6 foot pound ball, and I threw it for 40 feet, which is actually really far. Most of those, all my measurements were 99th or 98th percentile out of the country, so that's real high.
Yeah, man. I don't think a spring game concert is for y'all, and a lot of people who are into OU football and into recruiting as an industry are really worried about how folks like you, specifically, guys that haven't committed, guys that haven't signed, but are also in this year's recruiting cycle. How do you feel about the spring game concert? Would you not go to the home game or to the spring game if you knew that, Lee Brice was there, or would you be more inclined to go if, say, Drake was there? I'd say Drake. Drake's a little bit too old for you. Kodak Black. How about that?
Yeah.
See, right there. See, he said, yeah.
Yeah. And for instance, like Texas, they're having on their official weekend, it's going to be jambalaya that weekend, so that's going to be attracting a lot of us recruits there.
Man, see, and I know that is, right, because all right, we won't get into me, but there's a lot of adults that don't even know what you're talking about. They're probably thinking about a dish from Louisiana right now.
Yeah.
So, like, if you told your moms, like, we got to go to Texas because they're going to have jambalaya in concert, what would she say?
I'd probably go with my brother, and then we'd definitely be up there. My mom would probably do something else just because she doesn't listen to that music like that, but she knows I like that music. So she'd have to find a way for me to get there because that's something I would really want to do.
What would you tell people about what you know about recruiting, what you know about your friends, what you know about other guys that you're going to go to the spring game with, about how the general read from recruits is about the spring game concert?
I know a couple. I can't really say too much, but I know a couple of recruits that they're going to the spring game, but then they found out that they're going to be listening to the country singer, so they were just kind of weird about it.
Right.
And then I talked to other couple people about Texas, and then they're just real excited about just being able to go to jambalaya and having the Texas spring game. So I just say, if just get them to do some exciting things to just draw our attention, shows that we can have a great time down there where the college is located, and that's just a big thing on it, really.